Hello everyone, welcome to SIUK India webinar. Thank you for joining us today. We are now live with Birkbeck University. Today we have with us Manish Madhu, the International Recruitment and Marketing Officer, who will let us know more about this special webinar session. Please feel free to post all questions in the chat box on the right. We will answer all the questions after the presentation during the Q&A session. So let's start. Over to you, Manish.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Manish and I am from Birkbeck, University of London. I'm here today to talk to you about how studying a Birkbeck degree can help with enhancing your career prospects. So, this is what I'll be going over today. So a little bit about Birkbeck, why study a Birkbeck degree, a few kind of short tips on how to make the most of your degree and enhancing your career opportunities, some of the student services, and then a bit more of the on the side of how to apply and the requirements that you need to meet to obtain an offer from us at Birkbeck. So for those of you that aren't aware about Birkbeck or who we are, we were created in 1823 as the London Mechanics Institute, with a focus on working professionals and their kind of opportunity to learn science, art and economics for the first time. A few years later, it became one of the first colleges to accept female students. And then in 1920, we officially became part of the University of London, and we continue to offer evening study. We are located in central London, and our campus is located in Bloomsbury. It's home to other University of London universities such as UCL and SOAS, and it's a very kind of vibrant and busy part of London. There's lots of students in and around the area. It's centrally located. There's lots of green spaces as well. So it's located in the middle of London, very well connected. And if you come to study with us, you'll be immersed in that kind of student life right in the middle of the city. As mentioned briefly before, we offer evening study, and all of our classes will take place between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. in the evening. And this gives you the opportunity to get professional experience during the day. Because of this kind of flexibility with the degree courses, we have a real mix of classmates. So you might get students that are straight out of college or straight out of undergrad going to postgrad. You might get students who have five years experience, and you might have like mid to senior level executives that are looking to expand their knowledge even further. And because of this is a big kind of opportunity for you to network with experienced professionals within the industry you're looking to start a career in, or again, network with people that are in that area that you're already in. And this could lead to a job recommendation. It could lead to starting a business, or that person that you meet might themselves have a job available that you'd be perfect for. Some of the key facts of Birkbeck. So we're nearly 200 years old. So in next September, you would be the 200th cohort coming to study with us. We are part of the world famous University of London. So this is a select group of universities that are part of the University of London group. And again, having that on your resume or on your CV is going to be it's going to be really beneficial for you when you go on to either further study or you're looking for that next job. We're ranked in the top 350 universities in the world for global outlook. So we have a very kind of diverse international student population as well. And 73% of our research is rated world leading or internationally excellent. So learning from these academics that are leaders in their field is going to only enhance your education, and who knows, it might again lead to a recommendation for a job or again further study if you're looking to go on to masters or PhD. So one of the things that I get asked about on a regular basis by students is how to make the most of your degree. So I've already mentioned that the classes are in the evening. So this again gives you time during the day to focus on your study, to maybe get a part-time job, to hopefully explore the UK as much as possible and the surrounding areas like Europe if things get back to normal. So I really urge students to plan their days accordingly, set time aside for your study, set time aside to socialize. So you could join clubs, societies, or if you want to start your own, then you could do that too. We have a range of events for international students. So at the start of this semester, students went to Cambridge on a day trip. They've also been to Gloucestershire. And then there's things in and around London to help you settle in and meet other students that are international. We have a lot of Birkbeck events. So our leaders in the academic field, course leaders, they regularly host external extracurricular events focused around a particular topic or subject. Again, these are really good for you to not only expand your knowledge outside of your degree, but also network with other students and other academics. There's classes throughout each kind of department, each subject. So you're able to go to things that aren't in your degree or aren't in your department, for example. And we have things with alumni as well. So again, alumni come back to the university and deliver talks on tips and advice of how to approach your degree, but also that step after when you're finding a job. And we have a lot of networking opportunities as well. So things like careers days, we have international events, we have alumni events, as I've mentioned. And one of the main things is you want to try and enhance your profile as much as you can. So coming to study with us, yes, it's great that you'll be getting a degree. It's great that you'll be getting a University of London degree, but you need to think about all the other students that are on your course and also at other universities doing the same thing. And you want to try and stand out from the crowd. So doing extracurricular events, doing things that are going to enhance your profile, enhance your education, getting work experience, things like that. You want to add as much of that during the year that you are here to make sure that when you go to apply for the job, you are the #1 candidate. So we can support you throughout all of this. And I really urge students to, as soon as they come to us in September or January, they begin their degree, is to begin your preparation early. So find out the key stakeholders that are going to help support you throughout your degree. So maybe a personal tutor, an academic lead, people like the careers team, a careers counselor, for example. Write down your goals and ambitions. What do you want to do? What do you want to get out of the degree? What is your dream job after? Do you want to start a business? Is there further study that you want to do? Having a brief plan of what you aim to achieve will really help with your long-term goals. Once you've done this, you can then meet with the careers team to discuss your options. So we have experienced professionals within this area that can help with your resume, with your CV, interview techniques, and they can help identify roles that would be suitable for you, but also areas that you will need to improve on your kind of personal and professional profile to give you that step ahead. We also have a dedicated recruitment service. So this is a professional service, just as it would be an external company. We have a team called Birkbeck Talent, which I'll go through briefly in a second. But you have access to this again as a current student and when you leave. Try to think about linking your work experience or placement with your degree. So you do have the daytime free to obviously study, but also work up to 20 hours within your kind of visa restrictions during term time. If you can secure a part-time job, that's great. But if you can link it to your degree to make it more specific, that you can apply what you're learning throughout your master's program, for example, or your undergrad, and you can apply that to the workplace, then this is really going to benefit with your profile, as I've mentioned. So when you come to apply for a job, employers will see that you've worked alongside studying, which is a big task in itself, but you've done something relevant to what you've obtained in your degree, and you're going to be more employable than someone who's just come out of university with only a master's or only an undergrad. If you can evidence that you're able to multitask and gain work experience, which is relevant, then it's going to give you such a big advantage when you come to apply for a job. The next point is something I've already mentioned, is network as much as you can. You're going to be here for 1 year, and that year is going to go really, really quickly. So you want to take advantage of all the services we have. So make the most of all the events on campus and off campus, the insight days, the employer days. You can check all of this on kind of your Birkbeck profile. And again, just try to get involved as much as you can, because you never know who you're going to meet and what could come from building that particular relationship or friendship. And lastly, again, as I mentioned, is you want to stand out from the crowd. The job market is becoming even more competitive, especially if you're looking to stay in the UK and take advantage of the post-study work visa. You're going to want to stand out from the crowd. So again, doing things like what I've mentioned will really, really help with your portfolio. So the careers service that we have is free and available to all Birkbeck students and recent graduates. They provide comprehensive careers advice, events, information services, both in person and online. And they can help find information and training opportunities. They can help you with the job search. And as I mentioned, give career advice through one-to-one sessions and coaching sessions. It's something which I don't think a lot of students are aware we have this service, but I really, really recommend you reaching out to them to book an appointment to basically help with your time here and when you graduate. We have things like free workshops and events. These are for current students and alumni. Online career management and resource services. So this is a really, really good kind of opportunity for you where we can connect you with employers and then help you apply for internships and jobs. We have an annual careers fair, which for this year is going to be virtual, but normally it is face-to-face. And again, this is another opportunity where we get a lot of employers come to us, and it's a chance for you to meet with them one-to-one, discuss your kind of background and what you aim to achieve, and they can give guidance on what they look for with applicants and graduates. So again, it's one of those things that you could use to your advantage. If there's something in particular that you don't have in terms of experience, you could find out from them what they're looking for, and then work with the careers team to help add that to your personal profile. We have, again, Birkbeck Futures, which is a really, really strong careers team, and then the careers coaching and the upskill program. So whilst I've already mentioned networking, the upskill program allows you to, again, network with employers who come to campus throughout the year. There'll be different employers throughout the year, and they'll deliver workshops and events. So again, make the most of it and get involved as much as you can. One of the last things that I would like to kind of mention again is Birkbeck Talent. So this connects students and recent grads to top UK employers, and it gives you the opportunity to gain valuable work experience during the day, and then you can focus on your study in the evening. Since 2015, we found jobs and internships for more than 500 students, which I think is a brilliant number. And at the moment, we're still offering the same support, but it is online. So again, coming to Birkbeck, make sure you reach out to the Birkbeck Talent team. And one of the other things which I haven't mentioned yet is if you compare yourself coming to Birkbeck and doing an evening course to someone who's doing the same course but during the day. Because you are going to have your daytime free, so not 9 to 5, which would be the normal kind of standard core hours of business. If you're looking to get something which is relevant to your course, you're more likely going to be more favorable to that employer, because you're going to be available for that period, 9 to 5, as opposed to someone who's doing a daytime course who might have 1 hour free on a Monday, then they have class, or 2 hours free on a Tuesday, and then they've got nothing available until Friday. Being available for that time is going to make you more kind of favorable. So build up your kind of portfolio, build up your resume, apply for these jobs, and then hopefully we can help find something for you relevant to your degree. So the departments that we have a real range of courses. If I was to go through all of the courses today, it would take quite a while. But these are the departments we have. So we have arts, sciences, law, social sciences, history and philosophy, and then probably the most popular from my experience with kind of students from South Asia and India is the business, economics and informatics school. The website is very, very substantial in terms of information based around each course. So for example, in the BEI, the business school, at postgrad level, for example, we have international business, we have management and HR, we have human resource management, we have sports management and the business of football, normal sports management, marketing. If you were to search these courses online, all of the information will come up. So the entry requirements for each course, what English level we would need, and how to apply. My details will be at the end of this slide, but at end of this presentation. But again, if you have any questions around anything, or you can't find a particular course or any information, you can send myself or SIUK an email, and we'll be more than happy to help. So the majority of our courses will require an IELTS of 6.5 with no less than 6 in each subscore. We do take alternative tests such as the PTE academic and the TOEFL IBT. There's a link here for our English, the accepted English test, but majority of our students normally submit an IELTS. If the English is a little bit lower, your English level is a little bit lower than what we require, we are running pre-sessional English courses for the October intake. Students will require an offer from us to enroll on one of these courses. We also run an internal English test, which follows the same format as IELTS. This is free of charge. You will have to provide us with evidence of your English level before enrolling on this course. You can send us a class 12 core English result, or if you've taken IELTS in the past and you're maybe a 0.5 below the subscore or overall, then you can send this to us and we can arrange for you to do the English test. Our English test is free of charge, and you can do this remotely within your own home. And it takes around 3 hours and follows the same format as IELTS. So hopefully some of the information here has given you that further interest to apply. We do have a web page which gives advice on each stage of what to apply, what to submit at each stage, with the application. If you are looking to apply to an undergrad course, you can apply via UCAS. And if you're looking for a postgrad course, you can apply via the website. For October 2022, the applications are open now, and I would recommend applying as soon as possible. And the reason is you need to hold an offer from us to apply for any scholarships that we have. So the scholarships are still being decided for the next academic year. But for the academic year just gone, students could apply for between £1,000 and £5,000. And this opens normally in February time, and the deadline is normally the end of May. So apply early, receive your offer. Hopefully it's unconditional if you have all the documents, but if not, if it's conditional and conditional in English, for example, we can look at booking one of the English tests with us. These are just some of the useful kind of pages. So our country page for India is really good. It will give you the equivalencies in terms of bachelor's degree and core your standard 12 studies. We have international student pages, which has more information on the visa, on accommodation, and kind of the steps you'll need to kind of obtain your CAS. The coronavirus information page as well is the most up-to-date pages for COVID-19. So at the moment, we are continuing with kind of a blended approach of face-to-face and virtual where possible, and any kind of updates to this will be on this link. And then the course brochures. So if you head to the website and then the study pages, this one just says undergrad, but if you just link to 2022, you can look at undergrad and postgrad. Thank you very much for your time today. If you guys have any questions, please let me know and I'll be able to answer them for you. This is my email address. So if you want to jot this down and send questions over there, then please feel free to do so.
Thank you so much, Manish, for such a knowledgeable presentation. We are now moving towards the Q&A session. The first question, hello everyone. The first question is, can you please tell me deadline for 2022 intake? Also, if there is any scholarship available.
So we don't have any kind of set deadline for applications. Ideally, as I mentioned before, the earlier you apply, the better. So what I would recommend you do is even if you're kind of 60% sure about the course, still submit an application to us over the next couple of months, because you don't want to wait until July time or June time to submit an application and then find out that there's no places left on the course. We do kind of have a cutoff point, which is very close to the course start date. So September, it'd be around September time. But I would submit an application to us as soon as possible. If you're missing kind of a transcript or your English qualification, you can still submit an application to us and then submit those documents later on. The best thing to do would be to get your application in early, hopefully receive an offer, and if it's conditional, you can then work on meeting those conditions and then submit a document later on after you've submitted. With regards to the scholarships, these haven't yet been fully finalized, but hoping to have the same sort of level as we did for this academic year for October 2022. And this is students can apply between £1,000 and £5,000. The application should hopefully go live in the new year. And again, you'll need to have an offer from us to be able to apply for it. So this is another reason why you should apply early. And you'll need to fill out a short form giving reasons as to why you should get the scholarship, how it'll impact on your studies, and what you'll kind of contribute to coming to study at Birkbeck.
Thank you, Manish. The next question, can I enroll myself in international business, MSc? Is any work experience needed?
No, you are able to. If you do have work experience, then that's great. Please articulate it on your statement of purpose, but it's not kind of a deciding factor if you have it or not as to whether you can apply or not. So submit an application. We look at your overall personal profile. So if you have work experience, great. Please note it down on your application. If you don't, then you can still apply. And we'll look at kind of your SOP, your academics, and if you've done kind of volunteer experience, then you can put that in. But if you don't, what I would recommend with your statement of purpose is to really research the course. So they're like write down why this particular course. Maybe there's a particular module you're interested in, an academic that might have the same research interest or same background, and make sure you write how that particular course will impact on your future career. So as long as you've spent a bit of time with your statement, and make sure it's a strong statement, then you'll have a good chance.
Thank you, Manish. The next question. Any new COVID guidelines for students coming from India?
At the moment, they are the same as what was in September, I think. So India hasn't been moved to the red list at the moment. And I think when you come to the UK, I believe you have to do a test, a couple of tests, and possibly isolate for 10 days. This actually would be on the government website, would be the best thing to check on that, where I can send you the presentation and I can add that link to it. But gov.uk is the government website, and that will have the entry requirements for people coming from India.
Thank you, Manish. The next question. Can I pay my tuition fees in installments? Do you offer placements?
So tuition fees, yeah, so the first payment that you'll need to pay is £200 deposit to start the CAS process. And then once everything's sorted and you come to enrollment, you'll need to pay at least one semester tuition fees to us. You can speak to our income office here, and if you have an international bank account, you can agree to pay this in three termly payments. If you have a UK bank account, then you can agree to like a monthly direct debit. So there are ways for students to pay in installments. It's not a problem. It's just something that you will have to agree with the income team here in the relevant school. And the second question was about
the placements.
Yeah, so we don't really have anything kind of integrated like fully with each course. But as I mentioned in my presentation, you have the daytime free, 9 to 5, and we have all of the support services for you to help identify internships, placements, jobs that would be kind of interesting to you. It's just a case of how much effort and work that you put in to obtain a particular role. As I mentioned in the slides, the earlier you prepare, the better chance you will have at getting a part-time job or placement or an internship.
Thank you, Manish. The next question. Can we apply for scholarship separately, or is it considered automatically when you apply via UCAS?
So the scholarship you'll need to apply for separately, because it's not merit-based. It's based on, so it's not based on your academic score. It's based on you writing a short statement. You'll need to submit this separately.
Thanks, Manish. The next question. Can I get a work visa as an extension of my student visa after completion, or do I have to apply separately?
So the post-study work visa, I believe that this is something that you'll need to apply for separately. So you'll need to probably start looking at this near the end of your course. I mean, again, the guidelines of this is on the government website, and I can add that to the slides as well, so you have the right information.
Thanks, Manish. The next question. Please tell more about IELTS score, admission process, and scholarships.
So the IELTS score, for most of our courses, it's 6.5 overall, with no less than 6 in each sub-score. Each kind of requirement will be on the course page at the bottom. Majority of our courses are 6.5. There are some that ask for 7 overall. The admissions process, so you'll obviously, once you've applied, it'll take normally around 2 working weeks for the application to be reviewed. If your offer is conditional, then you obviously have time before the start of the year to meet those conditions, whether it be English score, or if you're still studying your bachelor's, it gives you time to obviously secure your final degree. Say you meet the conditions in advance, you'll need to then pay £200 deposit, and this will start the CAS process for you. So you'll be sent a form basically to fill in to obtain the CAS. And once this is kind of done, it takes around 1.5 working weeks for the CAS to be issued, and then you can use that to get the visa.
Thanks, Manish. The next question: how many days of quarantine is required once we come on a student visa? Will the university provide the quarantine stay of free, or students have to pay for that?
So at the moment, I'm not 100% sure on the quarantine kind of requirement for students coming here, because of where India would be. I don't think they're on the red list at the moment for us, which means students, if it's the same as what we had for this academic year, on the amber list, students would be able to quarantine in their own houses. For this academic year, we have had a quarantine package. So any kind of test involved, or if you had to pay for a hotel stay, for example, we were able to reimburse students on this. It will ultimately depend, though, as to where India sits on kind of the travel list for students coming into the UK. So it'd be worth. We do have information on our website about this, which I can actually show you. So can you still see my screen?
No, Manish.
No. So let me. Could you see it now?
Yes.
So this is what we have for this year. It's been readjusted again for January students. So for red list, it says what kind of amount that we would cover. So 2,285. And then amber list, again, it's done by kind of the what level of kind of cover for each particular country. So you'll need to have a look at the government website as to where India sits on the red list, for example, if they're there. So let me have a look.
Yeah. You can share the link of this. I will post it on the YouTube chat box if you.
Yeah, one second. There you go. So for that's the cover and what we would reimburse for this academic year. Hopefully next academic year we won't have to do this, but that's just an example of what we've done for this year.
Okay, thanks, Manish. The next question: are IELTS necessary for applying to study abroad? Do you accept Duolingo score instead of IELTS?
So we don't accept Duolingo for visa purposes. IELTS is normally the main kind of qualification students use. If you guys can still see my screen, these are kind of the other tests that we accept. So Cambridge certificate, IELTS, IGCSE, and then some of the other kind of ones which students send are the Pearson Test of English and the TOEFL IBT. If you don't have an IELTS, then as I mentioned, we can book you onto our internal English test, but we would need to see a kind of what your English level is, if that's through kind of a previous IELTS test or your core English standard 12 before we can book you on.
Thank you, Manish. The next question. What is the employability rate for postgraduates?
I mean, from the information that I have, I don't know the full kind of employability rate. I can try and find this out for you. I did mention before, we've Birkbeck Talent, which is a standalone recruitment service, has placed 500 students over the last 6 years. So that's not really counting any of the other students that have maybe found their jobs or positions themselves. I would say that with kind of the focus of Birkbeck being in the evening, being flexible, and having a lot of students who are currently working, doing evening study, we do have to cater for all levels and all kind of backgrounds and experiences. So employability is a real big focus for us here at Birkbeck, and we have a lot of the services, as I've mentioned, the career service, the careers coaching, the mentoring, alumni, and it's down to kind of the students who come here as how proactive they are in their kind of ability to find a job on campus or externally.
Thank you, Manish. The next question. What do you think are the pros and cons, if any, about getting a master's degree in the UK for international students?
So first of all, we're in London, which is one of kind of like the business hubs of the world, and you'll be studying. So if I point it towards kind of like a Birkbeck like viewpoint, you're studying at a University of London college, and you'll be learning from kind of leading academics who are like world renowned for their research. So again, being able to tap into that knowledge and experience is going to enhance your kind of learning and education itself. We have a real diverse like set of population, a set of students in our kind of student population. So again, being able to network with experienced professionals, with people in the industry that you're going to kind of we want to go into, is going to again benefit your network and benefit your kind of professional career. The one thing that I can say is obviously with the last couple of years and like university education becoming more flexible now, employers are going to kind of want to see what you've been doing alongside your course. So just having a master's or just having an undergrad I don't believe is going to be really good enough to like make you stand out from the crowd. So you're going to have to obviously do volunteering, do an internship, do a placement. And I think we're kind of perfectly placed with kind of how we deliver our courses and the opportunity that you're going to have during the day to do things alongside your degree is really going to help make you stand out from the crowd. The cons, I think, with any kind of course, any kind of university program, any university is, again, just the amount of people that are probably going to go into education. So the pool is going to be ever increasing, and it's going to be even more and more competitive. So again, I mentioned it in the presentation, you're going to want to do things to make you stand out from the crowds, make you be better than the peers on your course, make you be better than the other students in the UK doing the same degree program. The job market is going to be so tough when you leave. You need to basically apply what you've learned into real life situations, whether it's workshops or internships or placements. Build your profile, build your LinkedIn, build your resume, and basically just try and be the best and be better than the people you're going to be competing with for those jobs. So yeah, we can help with all of that, with all the services that I mentioned, but not only that, the degree and the networking that you're going to be able to do coming to Birkbeck.
Thanks, Manish. The next question. When is the visa deadline for students coming from India?
So there'll normally be a cut-off point to obtain the CAS. I think it's around 5 weeks before the start of the program. So again, apply early to make sure you get your offer, and then use that time in between you applying and the course starting to meet the conditions. And then once you've met the conditions, we can start the CAS process. You will need to provide evidence of funding, like funding to support yourself. And I think that needs to be in your bank account for at least 4 weeks. So again, get that prepared early to prevent any delays. And then hopefully things go smoothly when you speak to our admissions team.
Thanks, Manish. The next question. What are the top 5 employers for Birkbeck? Are the accommodations secured for international students?
So let me start with the accommodation. This is part of the University of London intercollegiate halls. So they are in and around kind of central London. And students can choose to stay in kind of a self-catered apartment, or one that includes breakfast and dinner, one that includes breakfast, or en suite, for example. These are in like the cost of these are between, I think, around 200 to 280 a week, and students will, yeah, there will be space for you to apply for international students. So again, I would recommend trying to sort this out as soon as possible. In terms of the top employers, I am just trying to find this out because it isn't actually listed on our website. But what I can do is have a look at a particular course, for example, and see if it's on there. So for each course, if you scroll down to the bottom where it mentions kind of how to apply, entry requirements, we don't have anything kind of listed, but we've had students in the past, for example, who've done management and HR, who've gone into careers in management, human resources, government, business, things like management accountant, risk manager. So it will list kind of the areas students can study. I believe the careers team would have more of this information as to like the top employers. I will find this out for you and send it over.
Thanks, Manish. The next question. How do I apply for masters in history?
So the link to the course is online. So again, all you need to do is go to our website, and if you go to here, you can look for the history course. So we have a few different courses. So the first thing to do would be just to make sure you're looking at the right one that you're interested in. But if we look at early modern history, for example, you can apply here, apply now full time, and it will take you to through the application process. We've also got a page here which is applying to Birkbeck, and it will give you detail kind of as to how to apply, what you need to submit, and things like that.
Thanks, Manish. The next question. Just 1 second. Yeah. What are the job opportunities during studies, part-time jobs? Also, what is the deadline for accommodation?
So for the job opportunities, as I mentioned in the presentation, the earlier you start to prepare, the kind of the easier it will be for you to kind of obtain a role. So I would recommend getting your kind of resume and CV sorted prior to even starting at Birkbeck. And then as soon as you begin in September, October is reaching out to the career service, the Birkbeck Talent. And again, do what I mentioned, tell them your interest, tell them your background, tell them what you're looking for. And then they will be they'll be able to find roles for you, and then you can apply for these as and when they come in. For the application, so for this academic year, the deadline for accommodation was the 27th of August, so I would assume it would be around the same time. They are like accommodation allocations are done on a first come first served basis. So again, apply early for your course, try and meet the conditions as soon as you can, and then apply for the accommodation as soon as you can as well.
Thanks, Manish. The next question. Do you have any restrictions with respect to gap in the number of years between UG completed, completion date to till date? Like, is any year gap restriction is there while applying?
This is something that would need to be fully considered by the admissions team. But normally with this, as I believe, as long as there's a justification for that gap, then it should be okay, because we accept students that are mature learners and have
Also, the same, sorry to interrupt, Manish. The same student is asking if I have a work experience post UG, will that be considered?
Yeah. So I was just about to say that we have students who are mature learners and have like a few years work experience. So this is what you'll need to mention in your statement of purpose, and kind of the reasons for doing the degree, and kind of how it impacts on your kind of career and future plans. But we do have students who have kind of a study gap and are more mature learners than usual. It just needs to be kind of evidenced and explained on your application.
Thanks, Manish. The next question. I have about 18 plus years of gap between my UG completion date to current date. Of this, I have 15 years of related work experience to the course I am planning to apply.
That's fine. Again, same thing as I mentioned before. Articulate it on your statement of purpose. Any kind of relevant work experience for the course you're applying for is going to benefit you with your application. All applications are kind of reviewed on in its own merit. So we look at things like your previous study, but also relevant work experience, relevant volunteer experience, and things like that.
Yeah, also Manish, the same student is asking, will it be a restriction in securing an offer?
How do you mean in terms of like the places on the course?
Yeah, like if there are any restriction about this much study gap and she's having experience.
Not that I'm aware of. Again, we take students from different backgrounds, different ages. So as long as it's like detailed on your SOP, you can evidence it on your resume, on your CV, like what you've been doing in between your undergrad and your postgrad to now, then it should be fine.
I have covered all the questions from the chat box. Many thanks for answering all the questions so well, Manish. We are now moving towards the end of this seminar. I would request you, if you have anything else you would like to put forward for the audience who are watching us live right now.
There's nothing left from me. Just as I mentioned, any questions that you can't think of now, please do email me on the address on the screen, and I'll be more than happy to help answer them. And if you'd like to arrange a kind of one-to-one chat with me on Zoom or Teams, again, just send me an email and we can arrange that at a different time. Just again, thank you for your time today and for your questions. I hope you enjoyed the sessions, and speak to you soon.
Thank you so much, Manish, for your kind words. To all the audience, if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact SIUK India offices. We'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you so much, everyone, for your valuable time today. Bye, take care.